Hello everyone, I'm Corbin Frost, and in this series we will start your training to become self-sufficient with technology and resilient to mass surveillance. Today, here in Corbin's workshop. Hello everyone, Corbin here, and today I have something a little bit different for you, which includes a hand reveal. How about that? In any case, I am starting a series on using Linux, privacy, and self-hosting. With the crisis around the internet developing at an alarming speed, I decided that maybe I can teach you guys something of value so you can protect yourself a little bit from what's coming. And today that we are at my humble desk, so I can show you the hardware we are gonna be using. Hey, Corbin from the future making a cut here. I wanted to remind you that you don't need to use the exact hardware I will be using during this guide. The concepts and procedures are general and they should work on most systems that have a similar architecture. If you have an old laptop that you would like to repurpose, it should work just fine. Also, if you have money, unlike me, and you can get your hands on better mini computers or other equipment, feel free to do so. First, let's go with this one. It comes in this box here. It's a B-Link EQ14, if I remember correctly. Just say EQ. What is the EQ14? I think it's a mini computer that's right here. We can get rid of the box. This here has USB port, USB-C, a few more USBs on the back, 2 HDMI ports, Ethernet, and the power. It's a mini computer. It's fairly powerful for the size and price. And it includes a power cable, of course, and the HDMI cable. So this is one of the devices we're going to be using. And the other one is this. It's a Raspberry Pi, but this is a bundle that I found relatively cheap on Amazon. And let's open it. I'm going to apologize, but this is take two. On the first time my headphone died and I couldn't talk and it became a mess. So we are here again, and for that reason the Raspberry is already opened. So this is the Raspberry Pi. And since I am kind of broke and I am trying to save as much money as I can, I went with the 4GB model. I suggest you to get the 8GB one. In any case, I'm going to be working with the 4GB one. This bundle here includes an SD card, is 64GB, an HDMI cable, a heatsink, just in case. This is a card reader. Use the SD card on your computer. And it includes the power cable. I got the bundle because all of these normally is sold separately and it's more expensive that way. So this is what I'm going to be working with. Oh, hold on. No, we should be opening this. And this is how the Raspberry looks like. And since this is experimental, I am going to be working on the SD card first. But this thing here has a PCI Express slot. So if I am convinced, I can later install an SSD, and I will show you how that's done later to improve the performance and storage. I mean, you install a 1 terabyte SSD and you have all the cloud storage you want. And let's open the heatsink to see how it looks. This is a heatsink. Pretty cool. Also, since it goes on top, it kind of protects from dust, I suppose. So this is kind of nice. And the power supply. Okay. Pretty chunky cable. Plug. And this is what we're gonna be using. Let me drop this box out of the way. Alright, so what's the plan? I plan to install on the Raspberry Pi my services such as email provider, cloud storage, Matrix protocol server for my encrypted communications with my friends, and my TeamSpeak, so I can have voice chat without Discord on my games. And on this one here, I intend to install my game servers. My Minecraft server, Starbound, Killing Floor, Ark, all of that good stuff. Now, there are a couple of caveats about these devices because I bought them in a rush and I didn't do proper research. The Raspberry Pi's CPU is ARM based, and the 64-bit version of Arch, which is the distribution I want to install, has problems with this particular CPU. There is a workaround for it that I'm gonna try, but if it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to go with a different distro. That's the observation on this one. And this one is advertised with a CPU that goes all the way to 3.6 gigahertz, but when I run it, it says its base operation speed is 800 megahertz. So it turns out that the 3.6 gigahertz speed is the turbo mode. I did some research about it, and it says that turbo mode is safe to operate, it's not overclocking, so it should hold. We will see about it. If we have performance issues during our testing, I will recommend you better hardware. But hopefully this will hold, especially since I will not be running my servers 24 hours. It will only be active when I start a session with my friends. So that gives me hope. And that's the other observation. The services I am going to install are for me, my brother, and just a couple of friends. It's a very small scale thing. So that should work. If you want to do something bigger, well, you will not need some better equipment, of course. Also, before you start, there are some more observations, warnings I have to do, I guess, so you aren't caught off guard by shenanigans. Hosting your own services is really cool. It's very convenient. Sorry about that, technical issues with my headphone again, but I am not going to do a third take. I am just going to go through. So, I was talking about the warnings. Hosting your own services is really cool, and you avoid all the shenanigans from big corpos and all that crap, but it has its issues. If the power goes out at the location you have these things, you're going to lose access to your services. If the internet goes out at the location, you're going to lose access to your services. And you can mitigate that by installing these devices at more than one location and mirroring the content. But that's something more advanced. I don't know if I'm gonna get into that, mainly because I don't have the money to pay for another setup like this somewhere else. But yeah, it can be solved. The other situation is that big corpos guarantee your data in most cases, but now it is your responsibility to keep backups of everything in these devices. Obviously, if the hard drive in this thing dies, you are gonna lose your information, so you will need a backup plan. Maybe we will get into that at some point in this series. During this series, I will be teaching you step by step how to install everything. I will talk about the theory behind it so you can learn more. And I will provide you with resources where you can learn even more. My goal is to get you interested in the technology. The only real way to fight what's happening is to be self-sufficient. So, yeah, I will do my best in that regard. I will guide you in the installation of Arch Linux, the most, how do we call it? The mystified distro. You will see that it's not as scary as people say. And we are going to install it 3 different times during the series because each time is going to be a little different. First, we're going to go with the B-Link. I think it's going to be the easiest one because it's just a terminal and nothing else. Then I will show you how to install it on a client with graphical interface to make it more comfortable and everything. And lastly, we're going to go with this one that needs that workaround I talk about. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the process. And if you need more information, reach me at my Discord. There I can answer your questions, and you will find some information that is not gonna be on YouTube. Haha, check that out. And with that, I bid you farewell for now, and see you later.